This brave individual stood up for equal rights. I thank her for doing what she did because if she hadn't, we would not have our freedom or equality. She was aware of the treatment her people were receiving, and she did something that no woman would have courage to do just yet. This wonderful, beautiful woman I speak of is none other than Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was an African American woman who was looked up to as a hero, stood up for what she believes in, and creating a boycott against the ones who treated the African Americans poorly. Most of us know what she has done, but let's start with the beginning of her life. Rosa Parks was born on February 4, 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama. She died on October 24, 2005 in Detroit, Michigan. Her parents, James and Leona Macaulay, were farmers. James was also a carpenter, and Leona was a school teacher. Rosa Parks was a seamstress and a civil rights activist. She attended industrial schools for girls at age 11. Then in 11th grade, she went to a secondary education called the Alabama State Teachers College, but she dropped out to help her sick grandmother. At age 19, she married Raymond Parks, an active member of NAACP, which is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. She later got her high school degree and became a member of the NAACP. She was best known for her bravery. Rosa Parks caused a citywide boycott to end segregation in public schools. She refused to give up her seat for a white male, and that is when history started to change, in my opinion. Usually when a white individual tells you to move or to do something, you're supposed to listen and follow. Well, Rosa got tired of it. She got tired of the mistreatment and the way African Americans were treated. It was set up to where it had the bus was set up to where it had all the white people in the front half and the blacks at the back of the bus. If the seats were to ever get full, the blacks were asked to give up their seats for the white passengers. On December of 1955, Rosa Parks got on the Cleveland Avenue bus to go home. She sat in the seat to where colored people were supposed to sit. When the driver saw that some white passengers were standing on the bus, he told the blacks to give up their seat for them. The driver demanded Rosa to get up, but she refused, which caused the calling of police and having her arrested. She was charged for violating the Montgomery City Code, but she was released that night. After her protest, the Montgomery bus boycott formed. After the head of the NAACP heard of Rosa's arrest, he was organizing a boycott for the buses. He passed flyers and told many African Americans to not get on the buses as a protest to Rosa Parks' trial. As they saw it, it was not working too well. They created the Montgomery Improvement Association. This is where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came in. On the day of her trial, she had so many supporters. She was fined about $10 plus court fee as well. As the bus boycott continued to go on, it started to affect the Montgomery City buses financially because many African Americans either walked, carpooled, or took a taxi. This did anger many people, which caused the burning of black churches, homes of the leaders of NAACP destroyed, and much more. Some were even arrested for violating on a law that did not allow boycotts. Immediately, they took action and took this to the United States District Court. After declaring Jim Crow laws unconstitutional, the city appealed it, but the Supreme Court supported the rule. The Montgomery bus boycott ended in late December of 1956 after buses suffered tremendously. Although the boycott was very successful, Rosa Parks had trouble supporting herself due to her and her husband getting fired from their paying jobs. Even though everything was going downhill for Rosa Parks and her husband, they moved to Detroit and things eventually got better for them. Rosa Parks worked as a receptionist and secretary in the United States John Conyers Congressional Office. She was also part of the board of the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. In 1992, she published her autobiography reminiscing on her life in the South. She also published a book on her memoirs and how religion was part of her life with everything she went through. With her hardship in life, she did set an example to many African Americans. Rosa Parks received many awards for strength and all she has been through. She received the Spring Garden Medal, the NAACP highest award. She also got the Martin Luther King Jr. Award. Bill Clinton awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and later she also received the Congressional Gold Medal. In 1999, Time magazine, Rosa Parks was named one of the most influential people of the 20th century. On October 24, 2005, Rosa Parks died at the age of 92 in her apartment. Several memorial services were held for her, and one at the Capitol Rotunda in D.C. In honor of Rosa Parks' death, the chapel was renamed the Rosa L. Parks Freedom Chapel. Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks was an amazing, influential, brave woman. She stood up for what she got tired of always doing, and she was done with the way she was being treated along with the rest of the African American population. She was a civil rights activist, an author, a wife, a daughter, a head of the NAACP, and part of lead of the Montgomery bus boycott. If it weren't for her and her bravery, segregation and inequality would have continued longer. She believed in what was right, stood up for her people, and was part of a very successful boycott, making her one of my favorite important people in history. Thank you.